Hello and welcome to InSight. I'm Wendy Brokaw.
And I'm Mary Louise Van Atta.
Our guest today is Joyce Peters. She is the president of Helping Hands. This is an organization that has been around in our community for decades, giving people exactly what they need in the way of household items and clothing. And I'll let you tell the story, but frankly, I don't know where our community would be without them. There's nothing else like your organization.
Thank you for coming and joining us.
I've been wanting to have you on the show for a long time.
Thank you.
Thank
it's
you
nice
for making
to be here.
There's a wonderful story behind Helping Hands.
Well,
isn't
it's
it?
a very simple story. A very simple story. In 1967, someone who worked at Adult and Family Services had a client who desperately needed some clothing for a job interview. And that employee just called a friend of hers and said, do you know anybody maybe in your church or somewhere where we could help her? And that's how it started. One client and one volunteer. And it started in the volunteer's basement, and it grew from there. And we now are in, we've been 6 years in a building that is a dream come true for us, because we have, rented in various places around the city, but now we have our own building, which we're very proud of.
We'll see it, yeah.
Very proud of. But from the beginning, we have always been an all-volunteer organization. There are no paid employees at all.
Wow.
And we depend on volunteers. If we didn't have volunteers, we couldn't operate.
And they're volunteers that help the folks when they come in with intaking, help guide them through the process of selecting items, is that right?
Yes, we have volunteers who work during the hours that clients are needing help in the shop. And we are open from 9 until noon, Monday through Thursday, and also on Saturday.
Oh, very well.
So during those open hours, we have volunteers who are helping clients find what they need. But we also have volunteers that are sorting donations in the back.
Any amount.
And we also now are so busy with donations that we've added afternoon crews of volunteers.
Wonderful.
So I was just working with them earlier this afternoon.
That's great news.
So the story, I think, is one that it speaks to our donors. They are so impressed with the idea that we give things to people who need them. So frequently when a donor comes to the door with a box or a bag or whatever, they say, well, I'm giving these to you because I know that you won't charge the clients for them. So
That's really important to your donors.
it is. It is.
You have another service that I think is really ingenious. That's one of the things I'd like you to talk about. It has to do with helping people who need things for work or a job interview, but don't know how to put it together. Tell us
Maybe
about
they've been out of work for a long time and things have changed.
Yeah,
and things have changed, or they're
have.
just in a state where they think, I need more. They can't even articulate it all bit, and you're right there with what they need. What is that service?
Well, we call that service Close That Work. Not too creative, but that's what we call it.
No, but they work, and meaning they
And
they
it
do what they're supposed
operates
to do.
a little differently than our regular clothing assistance program, because they need to make an appointment with our person who runs that program. She does quite a telephone interview with them to find out what kind of job are you looking for and what sorts of things, and then tries the best she can to get an accurate idea of what size they are. And she
So it's almost like a fashion consultation
yeah.
where you come in and get clothing picked out for you.
Yeah. So she'll have 3 or 4 mix and match combinations ready for people to try on. She has shoes, handbags. I love one of her stories that a young woman came in to get clothing for an interview, and when they got to the part about choosing a handbag, she said, oh, I don't want to be bothered with a purse. And Penny told her, well, you'll make a much better impression in your interview if you're organized and you have a place to put your keys and your Kleenex, and what are you going to do, carry a paper bag, So that has been a dream come true. The woman that founded us in 1967, her name is June Hughes, and she always dreamed that someday we could do a career clothing type program. Since we've started that, the requests have expanded from office retail type jobs to more manufacturing, construction,
Really?
agriculture.
Because you need safety related clothes for that, and those can be very expensive
They
if
are.
you're just starting out
Yeah.
in the world. So
We've been fortunate to have gotten some small grants for about the last 3 years from a local church group that funds that part of the program, because rain gear is it's $85 for a set, and that's not the very best by any means, but it's adequate, especially for the men that are working in the Christmas tree farms.
Yeah.
But good waterproof boots are usually close to 100. So, you know, and these men often could purchase something once they got a
once they
paycheck.
got started.
But
Sure. And they can
when
upgrade
they're
from
waiting,
there,
yeah.
so.
What I love about this too is that you embrace an entire family sometime by helping that person who needs those items right then.
Right.
And I think didn't you talk to someone
We did.
when
we
you were
have a
out? So
when in the process of creating a video brochure, I went out to Helping Hands, and I was looking to hear some stories, and we have those on a little video that we put together.
it's great.
So,
It's great to see. It's kind of like a cool boutique when you get out there and take a look.
and they
so.
touch upon all the things about how this really works. And one of the people they talk to, of course, is someone from St. Francis Shelter, and that's a story in itself. But why don't we take a look at the
Let's
video?
watch.
Okay.
Let's watch.
Look. The mission of Helping Hands Resources is to provide clothing, bedding, and household items at no charge to anyone in need. We do not have an eligibility criteria. Anyone who comes to our shop is allowed to shop. They must provide us some identification, and we'll issue them a Helping Hands shopper card, and they can have one bag full of clothing each week at no charge.
My name is Jim Sagas, and I suddenly found myself homeless some time ago. And I had nowhere to go, I had no clothing, and I looked and searched for employment and was able to find some, but the only catch was I needed work boots. And I came in here, and the staff has always been kind. They listen, and they understand and empathize with needs that you have. And we went out and finally got work boots and went shopping, got brand new ones after a month and a half of searching. I got the job. I also got rain gear, and now I have picked up clothing for church on Sundays. So it's a wonderful experience.
A few years ago, I was in a very tough situation. I had to find a new place for myself and my 5 children. But I needed everything, clothes, shoes, blankets, household items, everything. I'm very grateful that I found Helping Hands. They helped me to get everything that I needed for my home.
When a family comes to us at St. Francis and they're needing some items, they're needing clothing, or they're needing shoes, or they have a job interview and they need an outfit, we know that we can send them over to Helping Hands, and we love that they are neighbors to us. That works out even better. And so there's no barriers to getting here, to accessing services, and we know that they will be treated kindly and that they will get some real help and treated with respect to get what they need.
Look at these.
Those adorable.
They
Oh my.
waved. Yeah, they waved.
That's great. What great stories.
Yes,
That's wonderful.
Yes.
You have a
Wonderful.
beautiful story about somebody who was a client, but you never saw him again, and then one day he returned. With
Oh,
a-
tell us about that.
Oh, you've got to tell us that story.
This
I
is
love
my
it.
all-time favorite story. This is why we do what we do every day at Helping Hands. A gentleman came into the shop, and he had his arms loaded with men's Levi's. And I said to him, my gosh, those are like gold. Those are so hard for us to ever find. Thank you so much. How did you know about us? And he said, years ago, I was living in the Midwest, and my brother lived in Salem, and he died. My brother died. And I did not have the money to do anything except buy a bus ticket to Salem. And when I got to Salem, I needed somebody to help me get clothing for my brother's funeral. And someone sent me to the ladies at Helping Hands, believe it or not, and this has been years ago. And he said those nice ladies just fluttered around me like little mother hens and got me all set up with the clothing for my brother's funeral. And I thought, that's why we do what we do.
And so he came back to.
He did.
As a-
He said, now things are better and I want to pay back.
Oh, that's a beautiful story. Well, I think, there may be a lot of people who are watching our show today that either have something to share, extra bedding, extra household items,
Or would like to volunteer.
Or volunteer, or clothing. Can you tell us where we can find you? And maybe on the reverse side, somebody may be watching who really needs your help or has a friend. So tell us about where to find you.
Well, we have a shop located at 1755 13th Street Southeast. It's a distinctive building because our siding is all stainless steel.
Right, like it's on the video.
Yeah.
So.
We're open only in the mornings from 9 until noon, Monday through Thursday, closed on Friday to try and catch up.
Right.
And we are open on Saturday from 9 till noon.
You have a website too.
We have a
don't you?
website. It's helpinghands-salem.org.
Great.
And I'd invite you to go there because there's more information
Right, and
about
place to
what we
donate.
do. Place to donate.
And then a phone number?
503-364-9936.
That's great. Well, we'll look forward to. Will you come back?
Will you come
thank
back today?
you. I'd
And
love
come
to.
see us and tell us more about what's going on over there.
And I'm
at Helping
so
Hands.
happy with all the changes and dreams come true for your organization. This is wonderful.
great.
Thank you for joining
Thank
us
you so
today
much. Thank you for
on
inviting
InSight.
us.
And thank you for joining us.
And we'll see you next time.